Good morning, everybody. Welcome to 1252 Sports on the Over-Under. I'm your host, Harry the Greek, alongside Mr. Peter Blake himself.
Yes, sir.
And we have someone coming in my back door.
Oh, geez.
Real
Happy
soon.
Sunday. You've already started.
Happy Sunday,
You've already
everybody.
started with this garbage.
And let me tell you something. It's week 7 in the National Football League, Pete.
It is already. It's flown by.
It's almost halfway over.
And if you're a Bucs fan, it feels like you're a snail on volume because of this offense and the way they've gone. It's been terrible.
Stop acting like you got to jump off the bridge, man. It's not.
Well, I tell you right now, you lose to the Pittsburgh Steelers, who basically got their doors blown off by the Buffalo Bills in the fashion that you lost. It's not acceptable. So, a lot of Bucs fans questioning this offense. A lot of Bucs fans this week questioning Tom Brady. So it's been a crazy week.
Yep. Just want to get it all out there. Make sure when you're watching the show, take a moment, share it on your timeline, whether it's on Facebook. Share it to someone on YouTube.
Yes.
Twitter. We're on all 3 major platforms.
Share it all over the place.
Don't forget to hit the like button. If you have a question or a comment, make sure you go ahead and post it. It'll give us a different narrative to even talk about. We're going to read it live on the air. And most importantly, if you want to make a phone call, you have a question, a comment, or even an opinion, dial 727-320-5866. It's right at the bottom of the screen, 727-320-5866. Without further ado, I do not like letting someone hanging out there. The best of the Bay, Mr. Tampa Bay Ray Kennedy, is sitting right out at Krabby's on the Pass.
Very nice.
It's absolutely beautiful.
We got to go out there sometime and help him out. Maybe bring the evolution of sports talk television.
The evolution.
The evolution of sports talk television.
Oh, my God.
With all our cameras and everything. PA system.
Ray Kennedy, how are you, brother? What's happening? Hey, long time no see.
Brothers, there. First of all, thanks for joining me on my Cup of Ray. But real quick, I just got a new follower on Instagram, a nice lady named Fantasia. I know it's legitimate. I'm just liking her back and messaging her.
Yeah, I bet it is. I absolutely bet it's legitimate. Don't get hacked like our buddy over here got
everything
yesterday.
You want.
Yeah,
anything.
Right.
But I tell you what, I'm ready to talk about some lines today. It's been an inconsistent NFL this year, whether it be concussions or different type of play calling, and the NFL is trying to probably get some consistency, and I don't know what we're going to see on some of these lines and some of these games today, guys. I'm kind of excited to just get into it and just talk.
Ray, first off, I've got you on full screen because, people in Chicago and across the Midwest, they like the VIG too, but tell them where you're at. Tell them exactly where you're at geographically, because I'll tell you what, you got a beautiful boat that's passing by you right now. I mean, that's just absolutely gorgeous. And to think, ladies and gentlemen, that is 5 minutes from our house.
Yeah,
really?
And that's well, this is Peter. I'll leave here. I'll be home before you guys. You could throw a ball in the air. I'll be home before you catch it. But yeah, as the nice Beats by Slice drive a boat goes by, advertising boat, because that's how we roll here. Of course, I'm out at Krabby's on the Pass here. What a great place! My entire family, my family is inside having breakfast. All the people are enjoying the tables. The weather, it's in the mid to upper 60s. Expected to be a high of 70 today there in Carolina. So kind of similar weather, but a little bit different that the Buccaneers will see. But yeah, the Krabby's on the Pass staff down here just take care of me every time.
Hey, man, did you see the pelicano? He just passed by you. That's the Spanish bird, pelicanos.
Pelicanos, okay. No.
Yeah, baby.
No.
The 22 half shirt.
I can't.
No.
I'm getting burnt. So I can't really. I'm like Superman. I'm ready.
Oh, Ray, come on.
Okay.
Seriously.
No,
Just in
don't.
case.
No. Please. See, play this kind
All right, we can't do it no more.
No.
You know, it's real quick, funny story. There's a bunch of nice people over here, and I walked in to see my family, and they go, you doing a podcast? You have Facebook, YouTube? And I'm like, yeah, I cover the Bucks. But then they see me over here doing this, and they're probably like, that's a swipe left.
Jeez.
That's a swipe left. That's wait a minute. If you swipe right, you like.
Yeah.
Is that what it is? Yeah, you're right. I don't know.
That's why it's a left.
Like, swipe left, you don't like. Oh, that's not even fair.
Who knows?
Questions or comments, anybody? Go ahead and make sure you post them. Actually, we have a couple of comments here. We're going to go ahead and read them. Troy Polamalu. Hey, Troy, good morning. First, Christopher Cole says, good morning, everyone. Chris, what's shaking, brother? Happy week 7
What's
in the
up,
National
Chris?
Football League. Troy Polamalu says, when Brake got injured, did you guys see Brady warming up throwing passes? What a careless, selfish, douchebag teammate. You know what? You can say what you want. I actually thought the same thing.
Oh,
I didn't think it was a big deal. I think people make
Not so
a
much
big
with
deal.
not the douchebag.
They made a
portion
big
of it.
deal about this. They made a big deal about deployment. I mean, it's guys like Troy who just don't like Brady.
No,
that's
man,
all it is. No, that's what it is. That's what it is.
Look at it
It's
from a
guys
different
like,
point of view.
but that's what it is. They're trying to find anything and everything, and this started from retirement. And honestly, if you're a Bucs fan and you want to go back to the days of losing, go ahead and get in line. I'm not one of those people. And I was glad to hear that Brady said this week, basically in so many words, I'm not looking to retire anytime soon. Good. Some of these jackass Buck fans out here need to go back into the annals of a time machine and say, you know what? You didn't like losing, but all of a sudden, you don't like Brady. You want to move on. There's some people out there want to move on to Kyle Trask or Blaine Gabbert. You ain't moving anywhere. You're going to lose.
It's almost just like being a Bears fan, guys.
Stupid.
It's the same thing. They didn't like Jay Cutler. How you like me now? Okay, but I want to go back to what Troy Polamalu said about Brady. Nah, he's not a douchebag, but it was a little bit inconsiderate. Hey, man, you need to go check on your teammate.
Well,
yeah,
Harry,
I know. We're
Yeah, Ray.
I digitally raised my hand in a meeting. I would say I kind of think I saw him look over with caring, and I know Troy likes to. Of course, we love Troy's polling. He walks that fine line where sometimes he's trolling, sometimes he's not. But let me tell you something. Last week against Pittsburgh Steelers, as much as Tom does care about Cam Brate, because that's the only guy he has at tight end that's played more than 6 games in the NFL. He was also warming up because he was trying to get the cobwebs out of his head, but more importantly, he was trying to get the cobwebs out of the other 52 guys, or 51, I should say, because Cam was on the field, out of their heads, because you would get to see a Buccaneers team that was inspired or ready to play. You saw no execution. So I kind of give the one to Tom Brady to say, no, be over there letting the guys know, look, I know my guy's down. I'm not a medical doctor, but I'm still ready. Let's get this shit going.
I got a poll question for both you and Ray.
Sure.
Okay, and the people that are out there. Which quarterback in the National Football League has a better chance of saving their season, Tom Brady or Aaron Rodgers?
Tom Brady.
Yeah, 100%.
Because they're going to get healthy. There was a report out, and I don't know where this report came from. I guess it was out there from Jason Cole of Yahoo Sports. I shouldn't say. I don't know where the report came from.
Yahoo!
Right,
Yahoo.
and he said that Ryan Jensen could be back by November. So if Ryan Jensen could be added to that offensive line with their struggles, that could definitely help them out. And you hope that either Julio Jones will get healthy, which it doesn't look like he's going to, or they will sign an OBJ, or Gronk will come back. But I think the guy that has the opportunity to redeem himself because of the division that you're in is Tom Brady. Aaron Rodgers, we talked about it. When you don't have a Devontae Adams, when you don't have all the weapons and you have the offense going the way it goes right now, and that defensive line, I know they can get after passers, but they cannot stop a run. They're going to be in big trouble because they can't outscore anybody at this juncture. So if I'm banking on somebody or betting on somebody, it's Tom Brady to turn it around.
Ray?
I got a question on a different subject, if I can.
Sure.
Are the Bears gonna be in a fire sale? Are they gonna see if they can get anything for Roquan Smith, who we kind of know we kind of, and Mike Hughes said this the other night on when he was on with us on Peter's show. I think it was your show, right? Isn't it Mike Hughes from Chicago, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Lockdown character. Love that cat. Of course, he's right here on 1252 Sports, isn't he, or no?
No, he's no, like, he comes on once in a while. He's still
good.
A family and friend and love.
Good. Okay. But are the Bears going to be in a fire sale? Do they have some bits and pieces that they're going to look to try to get rid of to give the guys, to give them when along with all that cap space they have in 2023, so they can do a faster build and turn around? Or are they just going to roll with the guys they have and figure it all out at the end of the year? That's what I wonder.
Great question. I'm going to go ahead and take that one. I don't think they're going to have a fire sale. I don't believe that they're going to move a Roquan Smith. I think Roquan Smith is going to get a contract by this team. I don't think he's going to get the money that he thinks he's going to get, but I believe they're going to sign him. Who I think they need to get rid of is opposite of him right now. Not really opposite. He plays a totally different position. That would be Mr. Robert Quinn.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of talk right now that the Dallas Cowboys, of course, Dallas is interested in anybody who's over the age of 35 years old.
Well, he's still somewhat productive to a certain degree.
What I'm saying is I don't really want to see them get rid of him either, because you could still build around these core players. Robert Quinn still has 2 years left. Okay. Yeah. In the tank. I don't know how much time he has left in his contract, but that's a great question, Ray, on whether or not they should have a fire sale. No, I don't believe they're going to have a fire sale, because if that was the case, the first person they're going to be looking at is David Montgomery to go ahead and unload. And I'll tell you why, because it's already been made known.
Oh, yeah.
And very few people know this around the country, that the Bears brass has already stipulated that he doesn't really fit their system.
Oh.
And I don't understand how a David Montgomery doesn't fit the system.
You know what that reminds me of?
But hold on, but Khalil Herbert does. I mean,
that doesn't make any sense to me. It's almost like Lovie Smith's comments when he was the coach of the Bucs, how Darrelle Revis doesn't fit your system. You make him fit your system. You adjust your system.
No, we're talking
him.
about that one, and I'll defend Lovie on that one. He didn't. Lovie Smith plays the old Tampa 2 system. Darrelle Revis is a lockdown corner. You can't play lockdown on one side and zone on the other. You can, but it really leaves it wide open in the middle of the field.
Why not? Try it. You got one of the best talents out there, and you can't make it work. It doesn't make any sense to me. It's bad coaching. We got lots of comments.
Ray, let me go back and get to the comments.
Go ahead, brother.
Troy Polamalu says Doug Martin was a better running back than Fournette. Yeah. You know what?
Okay.
I don't know.
Okay.
And the next one's my buddy from Chicago that couldn't help me come move.
Right. Thanks
Mr.
a lot for
Roger
the help on the move.
What's up, brother?
Appreciate it.
How you doing, Deuces?
Yeah, great.
Nick, Papa Giorgio, another fellow Greek. Nothing could take Brady down except Giselle.
Not even. Hasn't even taken him down. I don't even think she's taking him down.
She has already publicly stated there is no more witchcraft. There's no more spells. You can say whatever you want.
That's on offensive line, and that's on also.
But it will also
offensive play calling.
Let me tell you something. If Giselle ain't sprinkling her white magic, that's going to be in the back of his head.
It's nonsense, and people getting upset about him getting on his offensive line.
You want me to give you some white magic?
You ain't gonna give me nothing at all.
I'll give you something.
Oh, wait! White magic.
Shut up! Get out! Stop it. Nick's got good comments here.
Nick, how you doing? Tigani today. Who hops in to take?
Who hopes he's going to take the spot?
Take the spot if he takes.
Well, they
off?
Want the greatness of Kyle Trask or Blaine Gabbert.
It would be Blaine Gabbert. And you know what? In this offense, I hate to tell you this.
They're not going anywhere with Blaine Gabbert.
Blaine Gabbert will
over a Tom Brady.
Will be better off because he has to run around.
You're drinking. Something was in your coffee or in that water this morning. You're drinking if you think that's
I'll tell you, Harry or Peter, I agree with you, but I'll tell you what, it's not going to happen. But if Tom Brady does one more thing where it's, doing a game with Michael Jordan to play a round of golf at the PGA Pro-Am or anything, if he does one more thing like that, then it no longer it's a question of whether Tom has anything left in the tank. Thank you. Are they in my shot?
No, they were. There was a pelican that flew right across you. I was kind of hoping he'd land on you.
You already pooped on me. Did you see it?
Hey, that's
right
good
there,
luck.
baby.
Get out of here.
The thing is, if Tom Brady does that one more time, then he removes himself from the collected from the.
Does
from the
what
narrative.
One more time? What
doesn't fly with
his
the team?
Offensive
No,
teammates
doesn't fly with the team. Doesn't go.
Well,
I don't care how
little it is. Did anybody forget that this man won a Super Bowl with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers just 2 years ago when he yelled at the offensive line during the Chicago game on Thursday Night Football?
Hold
it's
on.
called being a competitor, you Karens out there, you sensitive Sallies out there. It's called being a competitor. He wants to win. Do you want to win?
Easy, Pete.
Easy,
you want to win or not?
He's breaking the blood vessel.
I get tired of this. You can't have it both ways.
But here's the other funny thing. Okay, now let's flip this over to the Chicago Bears. Let's just analyze it. It was okay for you know what? You can't have your cake and eat it too. I don't care if you're the GOAT or not. Okay, you can get fired up. So can I. Listen to me. What I'm going to tell you. If Jay Cutler can be on the sideline screaming at Charles Leno or whoever the hell it was that he was upset with, and then all of a sudden in the next week you see him tying his shoe, there shows empathy. But it wasn't good for Jay Cutler to go over to his offensive line and make comments.
Because Jay Cutler doesn't have 7 Super Bowls and doesn't have the street cred, as the kids would say out there.
Flying crap. And all of a sudden the memes come out with Jay Cutler smoking a cigarette and they call him Smoking Jay. Or they call him Glass Jaw Jay sitting on the sideline. You can't have your cake and eat it too.
No comparison.
But you know what? They jumped all over Tom Brady's ass when he did it this time. Because why? The team was losing.
Well, that's the reason why. If it were winning, nobody would be talking about it at the end of the day.
Because then it's okay. But it's okay for quarterbacks like Aaron Rodgers and Tom Brady and the Joe Montanas of the world and the Steve Youngs and the Dan Marinos that were doing that. I mean, they call them fiery competitors.
What's wrong with that?
But the moment you're losing, they don't care about how many Super Bowls you have. How about this one? How about trying this one on for size? How about taking it as a classy act on the sideline and say, come on, guys, you got to do better than this. Get up there and slap them in the head. But to verbally know that a camera is on you and close up and turn around and verbally abuse your teammates, bullshit.
The only thing he said was they are not playing up to snuff. If you've seen the comments.
He said, I'm not losing to Kyle effing Pickett at halftime. is what he said.
No, what he said is they're not playing up to their level. That's what he said.
Guys, you're
people have a problem.
We're going
with
to
that.
Ray.
Go ahead. Go to Ray.
Well, no, I wanted to say that the Jay Cutler, Tom Brady thing, they're a little bit different because Tom Brady was relied upon to pick this team up and put him on his shoulders. And Jay Cutler, although he was a phenomenally gifted quarterback and didn't have as much success as I truly think he should have or could have had there in Chicago, the narrative of this way, again, winning cures all. But let's be honest, even if the Buccaneers would have squeaked out a victory last week, the narrative would have been, did you realize he was at Robert Kraft's wedding on Friday night and missed the walkthrough and missed a team charter? Here's the thing. I don't care if the guy's 73 years old and he's coming out of retirement for the fifth or sixth time. You're locked in and loaded with this team or not. But when it comes to the end of the day in today's NFL, you either win or you lose. And if you're losing and you're doing that shit, you're losing big time. And that's the narrative.
Well, and again, at
Great
the end
point,
of the day,
right?
I understand that, but also your teammates have to help you out. And your offensive line is not giving you enough time. And I get it. Brady didn't play well. He definitely needed to be held accountable for that. And going to a wedding on Friday night, missing a walkthrough on Saturday is not a big deal unless, of course,
During the football season,
unless you lose. Nobody cares about that if they win at the end of the day.
But they did.
But it's also on your defense not getting off the field on long third down conversions. You got 11, 13, 11, and 15. You're not able to get off the field on an offense ran by Mitchell Trubisky.
I'll tell you what, though.
It sounded
I'll finish
really
this.
good coming off your tongue.
Well, I'll tell you right
Mitchell
now.
Trubisky.
Right. And that's the problem. And everybody wants to blame the quarterback. And I get it. He gets, all the recognition. But at the end of the day, it's not just on this quarterback. It has to be a total team effort. You can't continue to run the ball on first down and get nothing at all. You can't continue to play zone defense or prevent defense on third down because you're preventing your team from winning.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to give Ray a chance to go ahead and speak here. I'm just going to say one thing in regards to this. This is what this show is all about. It gives everybody a chance for a platform to tell you how you feel.
Yes.
Number one. Number two, we're not screaming. It's called passion. There's a big difference.
I don't care if you think I'm screaming at all. You came to the wrong sports talk show. Sensitive Sally, go in your corner.
So what I'm trying to say is it doesn't make a difference which team you're rooting for. Every team goes through a lull. Everybody's entitled to an opinion. When your quarterback play is not up to par with underlying factors such as an offensive line that's been banged up, maybe it's incorrect play calling. Maybe it could be that he went to a wedding 2 days prior. Maybe it's his wife sprinkling to taking away the dark man. Who knows?
Oh, God.
But who knows? Who knows what it can be? The bottom line is this. It's a narrative, and everybody's going to pounce on it. Yeah. I'm done with this. We're going to talk about this game and who's going to be locking up, who's going to cover, who may not cover. Ray, I'm going to give you one last chance to go ahead and tell us what you think about it. I'm going to go back to the comments, and then I want to start getting to some picks. What do you say?
4-7. What I'm going to say is I'm going to say this. At the end of the day, I don't care about any other narrative other than I wish that the offensive line would have been getting yelled at last week, but I wish I would have saw the yelling coming from Byron Leftwich with Todd Bowles standing right next to him because he's the head coach of this team. And if execution, like Russell Gage states this week, is still such an issue in week 6 for a team 2 years removed from the Super Bowl and made it to the divisional round of the playoffs in 2021, if you're having trouble executing, I need to see the coach. I need to see it from the very top on down. I want to see fire and brimstone. I want to see hell. And that's what I think. That's
it.
The Pelicanos are coming.
Put this team out of their misery. They just fired the coach. They got PJ Walker, who played for the XFL a couple years ago. Put them out of their misery. Offense, defense, and special teams. For the love of God, if I have to see Jalen Darden return punts again, I'm going to kill myself.
Oh, God, stop it.
Seriously.
Troy Polamalu says, can't wait till we fire Bulls and Leftwich. Gosh, they suck. That's your own opinion. Good. Cole, Eli, hey, what's up, Cole?
CSB brother, by the way.
If you want to go back to the days of losing, just wait. Next year's coming. I got my flux capacitor. We can go back to the days of 82 through 94 and lose 10-plus games a year.
Yes.
I'll stay here with Brady, you tell them, Pete, we've been here since the dawn of time with this team. Go Bucks, and all the bandwagon fans, do me a favor, just jump off. Jump off
the skyway, jump off wherever the hell you want to. But if you just hate this team because of Tom Brady, you're wrong. Because again, you forget you have selective amnesia to not understand that this man came into a first-year offense and led them to a Super Bowl. You guys forget.
We've established that. Back to the comments.
I need to remind people.
Nick, Papa Giorgio, Harry, Robert Quint, Monty, and Roquan will be gone.
All of them?
They could be. They could be. I
Basically,
just don't
give
see
up
them
on
doing
your
that.
season at that
On that
point.
comment right there, can I ask you a question? In 2020, Devin White gets a new contract next year, unless he just wants way too much money, and the Buccaneers say, okay, play that 5th year. Who gets more money in 2023, Devin White or Roquan Smith?
I'm going to have to say Roquan because he's younger.
Yeah, I'm going to say Roquan too.
And
but
Roquan's
I
led the
definitely
league.
think,
I think Roquan has led the league since he's been in tackles. I'm almost positive of that one.
Okay.
I think it's.
But hold on, that
Yeah.
depends. Does Roquan does he leave the team? If he leaves the team, he'll get a bigger contract. If he stays with the Bears, it still has something to do with the McCaskies. They throw around sewer covers like they're quarters.
Well, can't they franchise
like
him?
their sewer
Can they
cover.
franchise
They
him?
could franchise him.
But what good is it going to do him?
Well, because that's the reason why you have $100 million in the first place.
Right,
And
awesome view, by the way, behind you. They got the
Great.
Bridge going
drawbridge
up?
completely all the way up. That's pretty cool.
That ain't the only thing that's up. I'm kidding.
Oh, jeez.
Sorry.
Troy Polamalu says, "Big Beard Peter's back."
Bring
Nick,
the beer back.
look at the draft capitals Panthers got for McCaffrey. Great point. Let me tell you something.
Yeah.
They fleeced the 49ers. For once, someone took advantage of the 49ers rather than the 49ers taking advantage of other teams. Bears.
I mean, they got rid of a contract. They got rid of having to hand the pill to Christian McCaffrey. They got like 2 seconds, 2/3 through 2/4. So Vitterer there, the GM for the Carolina Panthers, didn't do a whole fire sale, but he got a lot of draft picks for whoever the quarterback is coming in next year. Matt Rule having been fired. So, I mean, they did get some draft picks away from Johnny Lynch, Hall of Fame Buccaneer and current GM of the 49ers, but I wouldn't say fleeced. I'd say both teams got what they want. He's a Stanford kid. If he has success, I think the 49ers just put themselves into the championship game if he stays healthy.
Well, I tell you right now, if he can stay healthy, and that's the big time key, he definitely brings a different component to that offense at the end of the day, because we know that Christian McCaffrey can kill you in various ways, not only running the ball, but also catching the ball out of the backfield. So he's just another weapon a defense has to account for. With the Panthers side of it, they came in with limited draft resources, and now they have 7 draft picks after this trade. So it makes sense for both teams. And at the end of the day, the Panthers just fired their coach. They're not going anywhere. They traded Robbie Anderson. They're trying to have, a new era, whoever the new coach is going to be at the end of the day.
Ladies and gentlemen, remember one thing: a hurt dog is a very dangerous dog.
True.
Back to the comments.
Put them out of their misery. Take them out back like Old Yeller and just blow their freaking brains out.
Come on, Pete. That was the saddest movie I ever saw.
Because we're offending people? I don't
That
care
movie
about
made me-
offending people.
Hold on.
That movie made me cry.
Well,
Paul Stewart, Doug Martin was good when it came to trying to get a contract. Ben Cornett says, "Good morning, fellas."
Good morning, Ben.
Paul Stewart says, "The first thing the Pelicans have this season."
Right.
Ben Cornett says, "Would anyone be disappointed if the Bucks don't beat the Carolina by at least 2 scores today, especially when considering what happened last week against the Steelers and their inefficiency to the red zone so far?" I'll get to that comment a little bit when we start to pick the game. Troy Polamalu says, "Brady is a bully."
Yes, and you're just sensitive.
Paul Stewart says, "Bucks 40-10 over the Panthers today. Time for a normal service return."
Yes.
Ben Cornett says, "I love Brady and he has every right to do what he wants off the field, but it still is a bad optic win or lose when you go to a wedding Friday night and miss a walkthrough to Saturday and poorly on Sunday." Just saying. Ben, that is the perfect political statement because you just walked that line right in the middle. I love it. That was a really good question because you kind of agreed with me and you kind of agreed with Peter and you definitely agreed with Ray. Troy Polamalu says, "When Brake got injured, did y'all see Brady warming up throwing passes?"
You already
What
said
careless,
that.
selfish.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
got it.
yeah.
Nick, Smith gets the bag, but not from the Bears. I almost agree with you, but I still think he's going to get a contract. I think he's going to give him a hometown discount. Nick says he gets traded. Troy Polamalu says Peter is mad because his POF date never showed up.
No,
I like that.
I'm not mad about that. I'm mad at Bucks fans, and I'm mad about blaming just a quarterback when it's the whole team that needs to be blamed. Not only the coaching staff, play calling, defense, special teams. It was all equally awful, and yet we sit here and blame a guy for going to his former owner's wedding because he didn't play well, and I get it. They lost. We blame that on this whole situation.
No,
They never had the Steelers in that game. They were missing TJ Watt, Mika Fitzpatrick, and you're running the ball 27 times. That makes no sense at all.
National Football League stands for NFL, stands for what? No frigging logic.
Right.
Okay.
Oh, that's true.
Okay. Look, man, you're playing on someone else's turf. If you remember correctly, this Pittsburgh team was one of the dark horse teams to make it to the Super Bowl this year. Okay. They still had, coming into the season, a great defense. They still had all these wide receivers in an extraordinary running game. Brother, let me explain something to you. It's not that big of a surprise that Tampa lost to this team. I'm really sorry to bust your bubble.
I'm sorry. It is a
I
surprise
think, hey,
when you
guys,
have a team that's 1-4, just got their doors blown off by the Buffalo Bills. If you want to call yourself an elite team or a Super Bowl contender, you have to play better than that. And you're right. No freaking logic means you run the ball when you have 3 or 4 players in that back end of the Steelers. And you have Mike Evans, who's targeted 4 times. Mike Evans, who's going to the Hall of Fame. Mike Evans, who has 8 consecutive 1,000-yard wide receiving seasons.
Lockdown.
Figure out a way. Every playmaker in the league figures out a way to get their playmakers involved. And for some reason, this offensive play staff can't do it. That's unacceptable.
With all due respect, I'm going to say one thing about Mike Evans. He's a year older in the system. Okay. He's still a really, really good wide receiver. Is he elite? No. He's not elite anymore.
4 times off of guys that are going to be bagging groceries in a couple weeks?
They're not. But hold on, man. Let me explain something to you. If you're not open, you're not open. At some point in time, you have to blame the position, not the quarterback. Okay? Sometimes you have to do that. And sometimes you have to make different type of play calls to get that wide receiver open. Because when they're playing a corner right up on the line of scrimmage and they're tagging them and they're playing a safety in the shadow, only giving him an out pattern, let me tell you something. There's a reason why they threw 4 times.
Make an adjustment.
There you go. And that's on the coaching staff. That's not on Mike Evans.
I agree. It's also on the coaching staff, which is what my point has always been. It's not just on one player in Tom Brady, which it's easy to blame him.
We fired up today, guys.
Yes.
Let's talk about something a little bit different.
Real quick about the Steelers. I think that 2 sides of the coin. On one point, Harry, you made a great point about them being a possible dark horse team, but what one player in TJ Watt getting injured and out for the season can change to the dimensions of a team. But the Buccaneers, they lose 2 Pro Bowlers. They still have Tristan Wirfs, and we lose our starting Pro Bowl center, Ryan Jensen, in camp. And some people are like, well, Tom Brady, he's partying too much. His divorce is going to his head and all that. I mean, you can't have it both ways. It can't be TJ Watt was still there. The Pittsburgh Steelers will be first place in the AFC North, but yet the Buccaneers at 3-3 are struggling because it's just Tom Brady's personal life. That's it.
I kind of agree. All right. Meanwhile, back at the ranch, you have a question or a comment, make sure you dial 727-320-5866. That's 727-320-5866. Don't forget to share the show. Hit the like button. Cole Buffer says, Christian McCaffrey will not be healthy. The bottom line, San Francisco traded their entire 2022 draft for a player who's hurt a ton. And he's on a team that is never healthy. The 49er fans, I know they already are nervous. Let me tell you something. They're taking a gamble because they want to win right now. They're trying to be the Rams of last year.
That's it. Pig Dog has a great question there. I know it's baseball related, but I got a simple answer
Peter,
for you.
What do you think the Rays' biggest need to address this offseason? Was very depressing the way the season ended. Raise up.
Ownership. Right. Well, there you go. Ownership and a power hitter at this point. Either one would be nice. And most likely you're not going to get either one. You're not going to get because basically you're not going to be able to spend the money. And of course, ownership is not going to sell. So there you go.
Guys, let's get to the meat of this program. The show is called The Over-Under. We're not going to go through political debates no more. We're not calling people Karens, except you, Peter. You could be a Karen.
Well, I'm not a Karen. I'm just telling people off that are Karens. I get tired of it.
Ray, we got Detroit at the Dallas Cowboys. Dallas now possibly, and if I'm not mistaken, Dak Prescott is going to be playing in this game.
Wow.
Dallas is only a 7-point favorite. And let me tell you something. The Detroit Lions have 11 injuries. 11. I'm not even going to go through it.
That's grit. That's just
11 injuries, and they're 7-point underdogs. Wait a minute. The only and Dallas is relatively healthy because they're missing one player. Well, let's go. That's it.
Yeah. I'm not falling for
I'm not going to give everybody a chance to really even respond here. Can't believe I'm going to say this. I've bet against Dallas every single week. Dallas in a very, very large win today. It's -7. Detroit has way too many injuries right now to even keep up with this team. Dallas actually has something to prove right now. And by the way, they actually have a healthy offensive line. The New York Giants.
It's amazing how that works, right? But I'll tell you right now, if Dak does not play well, you're going to have fans out there calling for Cooper Rush to come back. You're going to. They created a quarterback controversy. Again,
that's the dramatic side. That's the dramatic we'd like to see in today's NFL.
That's the Dallas Cowboys
right
there. That's it.
Okay. Yeah, but it doesn't happen.
The New York Giants, the one loss, let me say it again. Roll that off your tongue. The one loss
Yes.
New York Giants are traveling to the Jacksonville Jaguars. Jacksonville is favored by 3 points. The total's 44. Both wide receivers for the New York Giants are out. Tony and Galladay. But Galladay, he hasn't really been playing anything. I mean, shame on him for taking that kind of contract and not.
He's a cash stealer. You know, he reminds me of Vinny Castillo, cash stealer for the Rays.
Alvin Harper.
But they need a Galladay out there, not because he's catching a ton of passes, because he's always commanding that double coverage.
What has he done since he went to the Giants?
Absolutely nothing. But this is why I'm trying to give my predictions out here. Unfortunately, the Giants get their second loss in a row, even with the best running back in football right now, and Mr. Saquon Barkley. Okay, they're not going to be able to keep up. This Jacksonville defense is not going to bite on that play action, and they are definitely not going to bite on the naked bootleg.
I'll give you the other side of that coin.
The Chicago Bears. Go ahead, Ray.
I'll give you the other side of that coin. Today is the day that Saquon Barkley could very much reedify or put himself clearly ahead in the race for 2022 NFL MVP, and could go for $150 and 2 touchdowns, and the Giants win that 6th game. Do I see it happening? I don't know which Doug Peterson led Jaguars team shows up. The one where Trevor Lawrence kind of looks like he's starting to be the guy that we thought he was, not yet the guy that he should end up being, or a Jacksonville Jaguars team that at times this year has kind of reverted back to how they looked in 2021, and that was a very poor team.
Great comment. You know what? I still think that Saquon Barkley might run for $150 and go for 2 touchdowns, but I still think that they lose. I just think that Jacksonville in this game is going to be a little bit more balanced. They're at home, and quite honestly, I think that New York might even get lost in Duval County. Peter?
I don't know. I'm buying this New York Giants team, but I agree with you. Coming down to Jacksonville, it's a home game. I'm going to go with the New York Football Giants for some reason. You're going to
take them for the 3 points. Anyway, you got a split decision. You got 2 against 1. The Greek likes Jacksonville to cover the 3. Indianapolis at Tennessee. Indianapolis definitely has Jonathan Taylor. They are expected to play. The total is 42 points, and Tennessee's at home, and they're favored by 2.5 points. Ray, I'm just gonna let everybody know right now. I'm gonna go to Texas in this game. That means El Paso. Ray, what do you think?
Yeah, El Paso.
Perfect, Peter.
Yeah, El Paso in this game. I don't know which team you're getting at this juncture. Both teams with the Colts and Tennessee Titans. There's going to be a lot of running in this game, namely Derrick Henry and, like you said, the aforementioned Jonathan Taylor.
The Atlanta Falcons. 2 minor injuries on this team. Cordero Patterson is definitely playing. The tight end's playing. They're not playing bad football. The defense is playing a lot better.
Surprised the 49ers last week.
Playing a lot better than they anticipated, because they've done nothing to really improve that defense. Offensively, they're still scoring a ton of points. They're getting 7 points at the Cincinnati Bengals. Ladies and gentlemen, Ray, I'm going to go to you first. I want to know who you like.
They're getting 7 points. I like Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase and T. Higgins at home in Cincinnati. They've been, the Super Bowl hangover, the AFC champion. Where have you been this year? I still Mariota's going to try and do this, and the Falcons have a gritty team, but I like the Bengals to get on the stick today, and I'd take them on the money line. Is that right?
No, that's fine. Yeah, that's strong if you're taking them on the money line.
I'm going to go.
Oh, you said Cincinnati on the money line?
To cover the 7. Is that not right?
No. That's different. Money line means that they just win the game outright. You're not either taking or given the point.
Okay, then hold on a minute. This is a really tough one for me. Peter, what do you say? What do you say?
I'm going to go with the Cincinnati Bengals. They're probably going to be down 14-0. The Atlanta Falcons are going to show once again they have no defense. They're going to blow the lead, and Cincinnati will win in a close one.
The Cincinnati Bengals linebacker Logan Wilson's got a shoulder. Josh Tupu, he's got a calf injury. Jeffrey Gunner, they are all out. Stanley Morgan's got a hamstring. He's doubtful. He's not supposed to be playing whatsoever. On the other side of the ball, the Falcons, D. Alford is the hamstring, and Bernhardt, his groin, he's out as well. But Bernhardt's not really their top wide receiver, is he, Peter?
No.
Bottom line, I honestly think that this game comes down into the 4th quarter. It would not surprise me to see this game as a push, meaning Cincinnati can win this game. I think it's a push. I think it's going to be a last drive thing. Atlanta puts up too many points on this team. They're healthy. Look for a big game by Cordero Patterson. That's nothing unusual, but whatever it is, just look for a big game out of him. And I think Marcus Mariota actually throws for 3 touchdowns in this game. Right?
Oh, wow. Hey, if that happens, then I'm going to
know about that.
I still think it's going to be, I think it's going to be a high scoring game, but here's a safe bet for you. Since I think it's going to come down to a last drive, and it's not going to be a field goal. And I honestly think that Cincinnati, I think this game's a push. I really do. I can't take either side. I honestly think that the 47 is very achievable, so I would bet the over. That would be my pick.
Yeah, bet the over.
I agree on both. I definitely like it to be, Arthur Smith's got them Falcons playing gritty. So yeah, that would be a great game, right? That's what we'd all want to see. It's a great game in the Falcons at Cincinnati. But at the end of the day, we want to see a divisional NFC South divisional who's currently tied with the Buccaneers at 3-3 definitely lose.
Well, and for some reason, this Bengal team continues to have slow starts, and it nearly cost them last week because you did put out there with the prediction that New Orleans would be in that game and also possibly win outright, and the Bengals had to come back. So something about these Bengals and the slow starts, and then on top of it, their defense is just not that good.
The defense has never been that good. Last year, they just caught a little bit of fire. They remind me of the Philadelphia Phillies of baseball. Okay, you can catch fire, and we'll go to there in just a second.
Oh,
the Deshaun Watson list, Cleveland Browns, excuse me,
quarterbackless.
Not a happy
ending. Baltimore
ending.
Ravens, and Baltimore is -6. They're favored by 6 points. For Cleveland, Ward, Teller, and Haig are out. Clowney is questionable. That's big on their defense. But let me tell you something. Baltimore, Dobbins, Stanley, Andrews, Bateman. I mean, they're completely out. Moses, Peters, and Ricard, they're questionable. They got a lot of injuries in Baltimore. This is a game that's just screaming to take the points. Not this week, ladies and gentlemen. Lay the wood. Take Baltimore, lay the 6 points. They are going to win this game. Cleveland, I'm sorry, especially when you're playing with a Jadeveon Clowney who's injured right now.
When is he not injured?
That's true.
Right. I mean, the guy's a prima donna, but I'll tell you what, just to see, given that big contract, 240 guaranteed to Deshaun, who comes back in week 12 or 13, whatever the hell it is, I really don't care. I'm glad nobody else seems to care. Dumpster fire should happen to the Cleveland Browns. I'm sorry. I used to love the dog pound. I used to have a little bit of a closet affinity for the Browns, Bernie Kosar and Ernest Biner and back in the day. But I love the fact that this game, I'd love to see Baltimore and Lamar Jackson just put an ass whooping on this Cleveland Browns team. Sorry.
Okay, no, that's fine. Hey, you don't have to be sorry, buddy. This is what the show is all about. I'm not in love with it, but I do think even with the more injuries that Baltimore beat, tread lightly. They have too many injuries. That plays a lot.
Sure.
In
I think it's disappointing with the Baltimore Ravens because you see how many fourth quarter leads they've blown this year. They blow another one versus the Giants last week. So I would expect a very pissed off team. And at the end of the day, you could talk about all the injuries you want to, but you still have Lamar Jackson. You still have his tight end running mate, his number one wide receiver, and a Mark Andrews. So I feel like the Baltimore Ravens will win this game. And, it's disappointing for the Cleveland Browns. Even though you have a quarterback problem with Jacoby Brissett, you're not able to run the ball with Nick Chubb more, who's one of the best running backs in the game. So I like Baltimore in this game.
I like Baltimore, the -6 too.
Yeah.
We're going to go to the NFC South with the matchup between the Tampa Bay Buccaneers at the Carolina Panthers.
Yes.
Tampa Bay right now is -13. Some books even have them at 14. At this moment for the injury report, the Buccaneers are definitely out as Cameron Brate, Akeem Hicks, big surprise. SMB and Julio Jones. On the Panthers side, you got Baker Mayfield is out. Leonidas, the Greek, he's got a concussion. Doubtful is Henderson, Jackson, Chandler, Horn. I mean, I could just keep going on. I mean, I could read half the page that it's out.
CJ Henderson, yeah.
Be careful. Don't piss off a hurt dog because they come out biting. Right now, I'm going to tell you, the total's 39 points. I don't think Tampa's defense is feeling very good, but they're going to get it right. They're going to get after the quarterback with Carolina today. But I'm going to tell you right now, this is going to be a higher scoring game than what you think. Right now, they're at 39. Some books have them down as low as 37.5. Don't be afraid. Pound the over button, but stay away from the total. Stay away from the spread in this game. Be very, very, very careful. I'm going to give someone a little bit of a tease. You want to play and you want to take the points? Take Carolina in the first half. You're going to be getting 9 points in the first half. After that, look for Tampa Bay to go ahead and slowly just put this game away. I think Carolina is going to have too many mistakes. Tampa may cover the 13 or 14 points, but I think it's a safer bet.
Yeah,
to bet the over in this game. They're begging you to bet it, and the Greek is putting a stamp of approval. Bet the over in the game, Ray.
Same thing. If I had to touch this game, whatever, I'm not going to El Paso, but I like the over in the first quarter half. Usually, even the Bucks start off slow. I would definitely, if they're take the Panthers and the points in the first half, and that's the only way I'd touch this game.
Ladies and gentlemen, I got to bring somebody on. I want to bring him into the back room. I want to ask him who he likes in this game. Everybody, Mr. Fat Mike himself smoking
This
the
guy.
stogie.
Good
What's
morning,
happening, brother?
everybody. Good morning.
Right there.
This guy.
Hi,
Good
Mike.
morning.
Hey, Mike.
Hi, Mike.
How we doing, fellas? How we doing? Great show. Great show.
Thank you.
Thank you. Mike, we were just talking about the lines. Tampa Bay's -13. Some books have them -14 at Carolina. I mean, Cameron Brate, Akeem Hicks, Sean Murphy, Bunting are out. I don't know if you were listening, but there are so many injuries for Carolina, including no Christian McCaffrey. But let me tell you something. PJ's at the helm. Everybody's saying that he can't get it done. It's a division game. Would you even touch the spread in this game, or would you play the over-under?
If I'm doing anything on this game, I'm going money line Tampa. I wouldn't touch the spread because division games are tough. But 13 is a hell of a lot of points to give anybody or to take away from anybody. That's a tough game. Interdivision matchups, we all know this. You know, if I had to, I would take Tampa Bay on the money line.
Oh, that's cool. How about it, Peter? What do you think?
You know, I'm going to say Tampa Bay in a blowout, and I've been saying this the last couple of weeks.
You said that last week too, and they got.
You're right. You're right. You're exactly right. But this has got to be the day. This has got to be the day that Tom Brady puts, all those doubters, quiets all those doubters down. This team comes out and plays 60 minutes of great football, offense, defense, and special teams. They need to put this wounded dog out. Take him out back like Old Yeller. Shoot him. It's time for the Panthers to go bye-bye. Bucks big.
Shoot him in the face. Shoot him in the face.
Mike, I got a question. Mike,
go ahead, Ray.
Real quick, Creative Loafing this week. They have an article in Creative Loafing that the Circle K. You know what a Circle K is, right?
Yeah, it's a gas station.
The Circle K's down here in Florida. 10 of them.
They're going to be dispensaries.
Dispensaries, baby. Now you talk about one-stop shop. You talk about one-stop shopping.
That's what's up.
There's going to be 11 of them in the state of
Florida. I wish my
local
local gas station was also where I could buy my pot. That's for sure.
Just like Jay and Silent.
Us to pump your gas for you? Would you like a soda or some munchies to go?
How about a Jeffrey?
Really good.
How about a Jeffrey?
Yeah.
Hey, just like
we're offering punch joints along with a slice of pizza and a Coke for $10.
No brainer.
I'm in.
No brainer.
I'm in.
Mike, have a couple of questions for you. You're watching.
Sir.
You watch the Chicago Bears really close. Don't go through a biased opinion here. Trade deadline's going to be approaching really quick. Do they, not what you hope, but do they do anything in regards to Roquan Smith? Are they going to get rid of him, do you think? Or Robert Quinn? Or more importantly, let me give you one name that's out there that nobody's talking about. David Montgomery.
Oh. Yeah. That's been on my mind over the last couple of weeks too with David Montgomery. Literally, you got two pieces there that either you got to do something with or you got to resign or you're going to lose. And you want to get something for them. And in a biased opinion, yes, I hope that they move them. But it's the Chicago Bears. They don't move anybody in the middle of the year. They really don't. But I think the last time they had a trade was getting Jay Cutler. They're like a big name like that. I mean, they don't move people mid-season. They don't fire coaches mid-season. They don't trade people mid-season. It's a Chicago Bear tradition where they like to dribble down their leg the entire year, not just half the year. All right, that's what they do. It's a Chicago Bear way, don't you know?
I'm gonna go ahead and switch gears. We're gonna get off of football just for a quick second. We're gonna go through the other second half of the games. I wanted to bring Mike on. I wanted to talk a little bit about it. I'm gonna break it now. I've known about this for a couple of weeks. The Chicago White Sox have shown interest, Mike, and I don't know if it's really circulated. It's starting to up there. But there's interest in Ozzie Guillen returning, and it's a mutual interest after supposedly because of his comments that he made down there in Miami about Fidel Castro, that he was done. But then again, everybody knows that Jerry Reinsdorf, to a fault, is very, very loyal to people that have been loyal with him. My question is this. Do you think it's going to gain traction? And number two, how does that marriage end with Kenny Williams? If that comes to fruition.
Right, that's a kicker. And again, me being a non-biased, I'm a Cub fan. But up here in Chicago, this is what I talk about each and every week. I'm talking Bears, I'm talking Cubs, I'm talking White Sox, Bulls, Blackhawks, the whole nine. There are some big names out there right now that I really like that would be great fits for the Chicago White Sox. Bruce Bochy was one of them before he locked down on the Rangers job. I thought a no-nonsense, quiet old man with a good demeanor, where it gives you a look like I'll whip your ass look. I think that would have been great for the White Sox this year. I like Espada down there in Texas. He for Houston Astros. He knows what he's doing. But the one thing that I said, you and I were talking a few weeks ago, and we were talking about the traction of what was going on with Ozzie Guillen. This could be a big thing. Do I think it would be the right move? Yes. Ozzie Guillen is a very, very good manager. I'm not putting him great. All right, he's a good manager. He won a World Series. Okay, he's a very good manager. But he's good with the youth. He's good with young guys. There's a lot of Hispanic and Dominican and players of that descent on the White Sox team where it'd be easy transitional to look up to a guy like that in Ozzie Guillen, to have a no-nonsense manager like Ozzie Guillen. But like you and I were talking the other day, the stuff with Kenny Williams, that's a terrible relationship. That's a terrible marriage. They hate each other. It's no secret up here in Chicago that they absolutely hate each other. Kenny Williams and Ozzie Guillen do not get along. They don't like each other. So either you bring them on and just don't let them in the same room with one another, or you let them in a room together and throw one knife in there and see who comes out.
No, I get it.
You know what I mean? That's what it has to be. And this White Sox team, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, to me, it seems like Jerry Reinsdorf is kind of repeating the same mistakes because he was in love with Tony La Russa. He was a manager before. You're doing the same thing with Ozzie Guillen. Why not get a fresh face? I get it. Guillen is popular around Chicago.
I'm not really
player.
good. I'm not really good about taking retreads from your own team, but there are two things. From a business standpoint, Ozzie's going to put asses in the seat. And when you get asses in the seat, you're going to spend a little bit more money. And this team is softer than puppy shit up the middle, as Fat Mike would say.
Right.
Okay?
They need a second baseman. I've been saying it. I said it in July, Harry.
Catcher and second baseman, and you were so right about it. I am not going to make this a baseball show. I just wanted to touch on it. Look for it. This might come to fruition. But in this case, and I'm going to tell you why I do like Ozzie, if he does go to the White Sox, is merely for one thing. Mike, you're right. He's better with the young guys. But what he's going to really do, he's not going to allow Luis Robert. He's not going to allow Yoan Moncada to run around with 3 pounds of gold around their neck, not hustling it out to first base. He's going to hold people accountable. But we're done with that. We're not going to talk about baseball anymore. Fat Mike, I thank you so much for coming on. Let's go ahead and get back.
Sorry about that.
That's okay. We just ended that part of the segment when I was talking about Yoan Moncada and Luis Robert. They're not going to be able to run around with 6 pounds of gold around their neck. You know what? I'm going to keep you on for the rest of the segment. Tampa Bay's minus 13 against Carolina. Real quick, do they cover or no, Mike?
I like I said, if I had to, I'm going on the money line with this game. But yeah, I think they'll cover. Carolina stinks.
Yeah, no, I think it's a blowout. I think
Ray?
Tampa Bay Buccaneers definitely.
I just like the Panthers to keep it under 7 in the first half. You said, or 9? Under 9.
No. They're catching 9 points in the first half. Listen to me, Green Bay. I like Carolina to cover 9 points in the first half. Do not play this game. If you're going to take anything, play the over. Let's move on to the next game. The Green Bay Packers are going to the Washington football team, or who are they now? The Commanders. Yes.
Oh.
Green Bay's minus 5, and the total is 42 points. Ray, does Green Bay win by more than 5, or do they lose this game?
Is Chase Young back? No. So I like Green Bay over those Washington Commanders. I think Ron Rivera may have lost track of that team. Of course, Heineke's playing today, and there might be some inspiration there.
Yep.
But I would still like the Packers to cover the 5.5.
Fat Mike, who do you like there? Green Bay minus 5 or Washington plus 5?
Green Bay's going to roll them this week after an embarrassing 2 losses to 2 New York sports teams. I think they roll them this week. No hands down.
Yeah, I agree. I think Green Bay definitely rolls them this week. They should, but it may be a lot closer than a lot of people think.
Let me let me bring everybody a little realization here. Green Bay played Washington last year with the beer man himself, Mr. Tyler Heineke, who should have beat the Washington football team, as what they were called last year. This year, Green Bay Packers are going to a very hapless Washington team who's going to play a little bit more inspired football. I do not like Washington covering the points. I don't like Green Bay laying the points. But you know what I do like? I like the over 42. Next game, we got the Jets at the Denver Broncos. Mike, I'm going to put you in the back room for a sec, buddy. There you go. That way you can go ahead and talk. You're good, buddy. Just give us a signal when you're ready to go, my brother. The New York
right there. Sorry.
The New York Jets, and everybody say it with me. Jets.
Jets. And it's been just in the season again for the last couple seasons, but I do believe in this Jets team. And then on top of it, can we stop seeing the Denver Broncos on primetime football? They're completely discombobulated. They have Russell Wilson, who's hurt in this game, Bradley Chubb on the trading block. I get it. They have weapons, but they have Brett Rippin starting quarterback, who, by the way, who is the son of who?
Mark Rippon.
That's right. Former Super Bowl quarterback of the
Washington.
There you go.
Can I tell you guys a quick story about this before we get to the picks?
Sure, go for it.
Years ago, I was selling programs for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers back in the old Sombrero. Okay. And it was for youth football. It was for the Northern Pinellas County. Ray might even remember that. You were out in Rosemar, if I'm not mistaken, or down here in the Seminole area. So what our job was 2 hours prior to the game starting, we'd sell programs outside and inside the stadium. And then you had to sell programs midway through the first quarter. Once you handed your programs in and your money, you could sit anywhere in the stadium. And back in those days, unless they were playing the Bears, they never sold out.
Never.
Okay.
Never.
So you sat wherever you want.
Yeah.
So God rest his soul, my brother Louie, who just recently passed away about 4 or 5 months ago.
God bless him.
God bless him.
Great guy. Long story short, we were on the field before game time, and I'm playing catch with Mark Rippon. Okay. And Louie's sitting over to the side, and he comes out, and he was goofing around, and he's kicking field goals.
Right.
Mm-hmm. And everybody knows who Mark Rippon is. He was a Pro Bowl quarterback that year, okay?
Yeah.
So I said, Mark, I want to introduce you to my brother. This is my brother Louie. And Louie goes, hey, man, are you the punter? Or the kicker? He turns around and he goes, really, Harry? And he throws me the football. I'll never forget a true story.
11,
God
baby.
bless you, Louie. Hey,
number
is he
11
the
over
kicker?
here.
Huh?
Yeah.
That was pretty good.
Kicker or the punter?
Are you the kicker or the punter?
Jeez.
Which one are you?
Wow.
Oh, man, he's the quarterback. We were just goofing around. But anyway, the Jets are at Denver. This game started out, Denver was the favorite because Russell Wilson, they didn't know if he was playing, he's not playing, which way the
Has he played all year?
Not really. Anyway, the Jets are 2-point favorite and the total's 37 points. Russell Wilson's not playing in this game. I don't think it really makes a difference because he's only making 1 or 2 plays a game. The offense isn't in sync. Mike, I'm going to go throw it out there. The New York Jets win today, and I think they cover the 2 points. I mean, how about that, Mike? What do you say?
I think they cover the 2 points. I also like the under in this game.
Really?
Really, I do. Both these teams.
It's 37. You're supposed to bet the under.
I'm taking the under. I'm taking the under on this one. I really am. I'm taking the under. But the Jets, I mean, look, the Jets have been playing out of their mind for the first time for as long as I can remember. Both New York City football teams are ranked in the top 10 in the power rankings. Huh? Yeah, let me say that again.
Huh?
Both New York City are both ranked in the top 10 in the power rankings.
What?
Can you friggin' believe it?
I can't because I hate everything New York.
The trash from the Meadowlands.
Well, but
they don't even play. They don't even play in New York. They play in New Jersey.
Right.
I know that.
You're talking about the Tampa Bay Buccaneers
but
not
I gotta
able
tell
to
you,
get your
I am
playmakers.
so happy.
Right. And these New York coaches are able to get their playmakers. They're playing with less talent.
You don't understand. I am so happy for the Jets. Okay, honestly, because I mean, when you really think about that, I mean, I've watched this team develop and they're actually doing it right. They're giving this coach a chance. They're getting players. But what are they going to do with the wide receiver position? If I'm not mistaken, what's his name's requested a trade. What's his name? It's admit. No, what's his name? Anybody
Moore.
Know?
Yeah, it's Moore.
Elijah Moore.
Elijah Moore.
Yes.
Let me tell you something. That'd be a big loss. But then again, he's just flapping his chops right now.
It's a
Shut up, Elijah.
big loss. He's done.
They still got Denzel Mims up
why he wants to be traded.
there, who hasn't caught a ball either.
He can't catch a cold.
They still have Denzel Mims up there too.
They can bring Rashard Perryman back in. I mean,
what?
Are they gonna do?
God, what?
You can't say that name.
Rashard Perryman. Rashard Perryman.
Huh?
Ray, who do you like, buddy?
Rashard Perryman.
Huh? Who do you like? Jets -2 or Denver covering the 2? Over or under 37?
I like the Robert Saleh. I'm on a Robert Saleh train. I'll take the Jets all the way, covering everything. Just
Peter.
Jets under.
You like the Jets and under?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
That's what I said. Me and Peter are on the same team.
Yep.
Oh, God.
Pete and Repeat, we're on a boat. Pete fell off. Who's left?
Play on your own team. How about that?
You guys are definitely playing on a team together.
Pete and Repeat, we're on a boat. Pete fell off. Who left?
Repeat.
Pete and Repeat, we're on a boat.
It's all about the family.
It's all about.
Oh yeah.
Play the music.
Our family.
Play the funk.
Oh, you gonna do some funk?
Play the funk. There you go.
Oh,
it's all about fam.
There you go.
Keeping it in the. Oh yeah.
Look at Ray and feet.
There we go,
Ladies and
Ray.
gentlemen.
There you go, Mike. You like that? All right. Anything.
Cancel that guy.
As we just got shut off the 3 platforms.
Yeah, as a big old sensor comes across. Beep.
Anyway, it's unanimous. Jets cover the 2 points in Denver. Denver's in trouble this year. And by the way, the Greek, you heard it first. 4 months ago, that Denver would finish last in this division.
Yeah,
you were right.
And everybody was saying how Kansas City was no good. Wow. And I went, be very, very, very careful.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
The Greek knows a little something about something. I was wrong, and I'll tell you this much about Pittsburgh. I said Pittsburgh would be an up-and-coming team because I'm a Trubisky homer.
That's it.
Okay?
You love that.
But you know what? That's an idiot. But I was correct about Kansas City. I was right about Cincinnati. Can we go ahead and say that?
It's still early for Cincy.
It's still early, but Cincinnati can make a run. But
they can make a run.
Anyway,
hey Harry, real quick, I would have loved to have seen the year Trubisky would have had. They not lose T.J. Watt. He wasn't lighting the world on fire, but when you lose your best player on your team MVP, and a player with maybe the best defensive player in the National Football League, 52 other guys kind of all lost a little bit, and that's I would have liked to have seen Mitch Trubisky with T.J. Watt all year.
I would have liked to seen how many passes Mitchell Trubisky failed to complete to T.J. Watt on the year.
Oh shoot!
I mean, and that's the point. I mean, you have all these weapons.
The guy couldn't hit water if he fell out of a boat.
Claypool. I mean, the only time Mitch plays well is against the Tampa Bay Buccaneer defense.
He looks like Joe Montana.
Yes.
But we're going to get to the next game.
Pete,
Before we go on another little Pete rant here, okay?
Why?
Oh,
you like my rants?
Oh no,
I got you.
Did you just say Mitchell Trubisky looks like Joe Montana?
Against the Buccaneers,
Bucks,
he did.
Yes, not Joe Montana, which he does against the whole league.
Everybody else,
or otherwise known in the South Side, Joe Montana.
Jesus Christ!
Houston are at the Raiders.
I don't want to get shot.
Lovie Smith's Houston Texans, who's playing formidable defense, both coming back to life. But the Raiders are 7-point favorites. Mike, I don't know, man. You like the Raiders -7, or you like the over/under 46? As Mike looks like
I love the Ravens in this game. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead. What did you say? You like the Raiders -7?
Yes, I like the Raiders -7. It's about time this team comes up and does what they've been expected to all year, and they haven't. I mean, it's been a snore show out there for the Raiders right now between Derek Carr, Devontae Adams, losing tough games. Everybody expecting them to be towards the top of this division. This should be one of their coming out parties for this team. And I think this could really this game right here is going to be the make or break of the Raiders season.
Tampa Bay Ray.
I look good, don't I? I'm kidding. No, play action starts working. Carr starts hooking up with Adams. I like it too. I like the Raiders to cover the 7 at home and win inside the stadium that is the Roomba.
I really hope a seagull comes by and takes a doo-doo right on top of your head.
Right here.
That's good luck, right? Isn't that good luck or something?
I like the name of the stadium. I like the name. I like Ray's name for the stadium, the Roomba.
Yes,
the Roomba.
Peter, who do you like in this game?
I like the Raiders also to cover.
-7?
Yes, I like them to cover in this game. I also like them to win and win handily because I think they've gotten this stuff hopefully together on this bye week with the chemistry with Derek Carr and, of course, the Devontae Adams. And that defense has to come out and play today. Max Crosby, get after Davis Mills and get after him a lot.
Davis Mills is going to have a decent game in this game. He's going to throw for 3 touchdowns. Unfortunately, he's going to have 2 picks in this game. The Raiders do cover the 7 points and play the over 46. I like that as a parlay. Raiders -7 and over 46.
Very nice.
So we have a trilogy or a quadrilogy. What do they call that?
I don't even know what you just said.
Who knows? I'm trying to do a Leo.
You get paid extra for that. I know that.
Hey, Ray, over your south side, Pelicanos are coming.
Ah!
The birds.
The birds. It's like a Hitchcock movie. Mike is like, what the
I know, really. Kansas City's -1 at the 49ers. The total's 49 points. Ray, Kansas City. Did they cover the 1 point? Did they beat them?
San Francisco wins this game. I'm sorry. That defense for San Francisco is too tight. And I'm not saying Christian McCaffrey is going to get it. I mean, it's at Frisco. If it was at KC, I'd like KC by 4. But if it's at Frisco, I like the 49ers to win that game and take control of the NFC West.
Ray, there's a naked girl in that boat behind you.
Hello. God, it's 2 dudes. It's a sausage party.
I made you look.
Yeah, you did.
There goes your marriage, Ray. Great job. Congratulations.
Yeah, because of a sausage party. Thanks, Harry.
You failed.
There you go.
Hey, listen,
What do you like?
I love Kansas City. I have actually made a bet on this game. I've adjusted this game I took KC plus 6.5 or minus 6.5.
Wow. So you're getting a ton back in return. Peter.
Yeah, I think KC mops the floor with him today.
Wow.
I agree. Still lots of injuries. I get it. Christian McCaffrey got traded to the 49ers, but the problem is the injury situation defensively. And then on top of it, Jimmy Garoppolo is Jimmy Garoppolo. That offense, I do not think can score with the Kansas City offense. I like Kansas City. Kansas City.
I'm afraid of this game, ladies and gentlemen, because of the fact that the game is in Kansas City, but
it's in San Francisco.
It's in Kansas.
I'm
no,
sorry.
It's in Frisco.
It's in Frisco. Sorry, my brain's just not working. But
it's all right.
If you were to have to push me into a corner, stick a gun to my head, I take Kansas City the minus
because
one.
you're
I
old.
think they're better because I'm old. I'm gonna whip your ass here and I'm gonna see how old I am. I'm gonna take you out in the back.
How old I am when I whip
the
your
early
ass.
signs of dementia right there.
Little Pete
setting the
dementia.
tone right on camera.
On that tone,
Little Pete.
on that tone, I am going to go ahead and
oh God, read the comments.
Yeah, I'm gonna read some
All right,
comments.
read them.
We
got Willow Meadow Brook.
Oh, I like
Alex
it.
says new stadium. Okay, so
Troy Polamalu says expect the Bucks to lose today and possibly Jason Light firing Leftwich on the spot. If that happens, he probably does get fired. Alex Nunster says new stadium.
Yeah, who's gonna pay for it?
Who knows? Willow Meadowbrook. Hi, Willow. How are you? Hi, guys. Go Bucks. Roger Shue says Bears beat Pats. You know what? I can see that happening, even though they're huge underdogs. Troy Polamalu says, me and Big Mike love laughing watching the Bucks lose.
No, of course.
Oh, boy. Hey, Mike, I understand that you really like Troy on your show sometimes, you know.
Oh, yeah, he's about as fun as herpes.
Tony Williams says, hi, guys. What's up, Fat Mike? Troy Polamalu says, Bunton? Yeah, that's right.
Sean Murphy Bunting, yeah.
Tim Wotherspoon. Circle K going to change their name to Circle M. That's a good one.
Mm-hmm.
Pig Dog says, what's up, Pig Dog? Harry, you know your voice. I'm sorry, you know your show is great when you get the legend Big Mike to call in from his car. We need more Peter and the Greek. Ooh.
Yes.
Wow.
Troy Polamalu says, Ray is happy. He can now get his pot and Circle K no longer on Nebraska Avenue. He now feels safer.
Great job.
Now my only reason to go to Nebraska Avenue is to visit my mom.
There you Andrew Faubert says, morning, gents. What's up? In the north of the border, the Red Rocket himself.
Yes.
Don't forget to catch his show on Tuesday.
I thought it was the Red Rifle. Once again, you're showing your dementia. I thought it was the Red Rifle.
Where am I?
I have no idea where you're at. I have no idea what the hell you say sometimes.
What am I doing? Neither do I. Andrew Faubert says, good morning, gents. Christopher Cole, yes. Bears don't win during the season either. That's true. That's something that we're not really arguing here, Chris. Yeah. Christopher Cole says CD3 is out too.
Yep, he is.
Kyle Nycole says Jimmy G plays well at home. I'm taking the 49ers. Okay.
It's possible.
Okay.
I haven't seen enough from that 49er
and
offense.
Tony Williams, what about the Bears? Who wins? We're going to get to that game in a little while because it is a Monday night game.
Monday Night Football. Another good one. Kind of a snore fest, huh?
Would they please stop putting the Bears in prime time?
Can you stop playing the Broncos on prime time and all these crappy teams? I mean, who made this schedule?
Well, the Broncos, seriously, though, at the beginning of the season, when the paper checks out, you grab the list of names, you grab the list of guys that you got, see that you have. The Broncos were expected to be a good team. They were supposed to be an upper echelons team, adding Russell Wilson. The Bears were never even going to be close, and they're playing four flipping I'm trying not to swear, guys. I'm trying to be better.
It's the coming attraction, if you will, of Justin Fields, right? I mean, that's
Mike,
what everybody's watching.
You are allowed 3 curse words.
I'm allowed a lot more than that.
Well, I'll tell you right now, maybe the NFL should enact a rule of flexing the games, right? I mean, if the team stinks, you
talking
flex
about
them
flexing,
out.
Ray.
Yes.
Which way's the beach, Ray?
Which way's the beach, baby? This way or that way?
That way. I could tell from Troy Polamalu making the comment they need more Peter in the
Ray's
Greek.
cut. Yeah.
Yes, he is.
You ain't seen nothing yet.
See, I don't want to see that. Nobody wants to see that. When you say you haven't seen nothing, I don't want to see anything when you do that.
Close your eyes then.
Will you shut up and be quiet?
I like
old man, I'll put you in the corner.
You know what, guys? Here's the thing.
That's eye candy. You're just jealous.
Oh my God.
Every time
eye candy was the boat there with the 2 guys. That was your eye candy too.
This is a Florida look. Every time I take Chicago and I made a joke, I was going to wear this shirt as long as the Bears remained undefeated. But I've taken them the last 2 times. So I'm going to say I like the Patriots at home on Monday night. But I'm going to tell you on the backside, on the VIG side.
Oh,
But I'd like to see the Bears win this game and get back in the NFC North race there a little.
Going back
What
to
the hell?
undefeated, it's the 50-year anniversary for the Miami Dolphins winning.
Who
the Super Bowl, going
cares?
undefeated 1972. They just had Mercury Morrison, of course, Larry Zonk on there. Will there be, gentlemen,
Aren't those
another
guys
team
dead
that
yet?
ever do that? They're not.
Not on
And
this
there's not
many
another
games.
team that's in their neighborhood, as Larry Zonka would say, or Mercury Morris would say. So will there be a team in NFL history that will eclipse the Miami Dolphins ever?
You might see it this year with the Eagles.
Get out.
I'm sorry, but they're
Mike, I'll give you. I'll
You
give
might.
You 10 to 1, I'll give you 10 to 1 on your money.
I'm just saying, but you might. You look at the rest of their season schedule; it's soft.
That's it.
You know
That's
what?
it.
That
lots
is
of
true.
close
They are kinda
games. At
soft.
the end of the day, they're about to lose one of
I'll
these.
tell you what, Mike, you got a good point. However, with that being said, that's merely going to depend on if someone's on their tail, like Dallas or the Giants.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
If they don't have to play, because it's a vigorous season, especially adding another game in the regular season, that you're going to want to rest your starters.
Sure.
Okay, so that depends. If they have someone,
Well, you
a
can't
game-
rest your starters now because basically you have to play for the number 1 seed. Everybody else is.
Let's
gonna
be
on
honest
the
here, though.
road.
Let's be 100% honest here. Right now, is the Philadelphia Eagles. I almost said Phillies. I'm still in baseball mode. I'm sorry, guys.
Sure,
It's all right.
Right now, the Philadelphia Eagles, they could start resting their players now with how soft their schedule is, and still make a wild card.
There's no way Nick Sirianni is going to rest his players.
No.
No, I'm just saying. I'm saying
I
that
get
they
what you're saying.
could.
You're right.
They could. I know it's not going to happen. But they're 6-0. They can ass backwards into 4 or 5 more wins with that offensive line, that defense.
But Mike,
and they
what I
could
meant-
also be like the Arizona Cardinals of last year, where they got off to an undefeated start, and then all of a sudden, that second half
but
of the
Kyler
year, you
Murray's
have
a
a
midget.
couple injuries.
Yeah, Kyler Murray's not Jalen
Well,
Hurts.
Jalen Hurts
No.
is, not that big either. We'll have to see what he can do throughout the season. So I get it. Everybody's getting on this Eagles bandwagon, but they're winning a lot of close games, which is great. But I'm telling you, that luck may run out eventually. And if you have
listen.
critical injuries, it's not
Right.
for long when it comes
Well,
to
here's
the
what
NFL.
I think.
trust
though,
me,
because
when the Pittsburgh Steelers can beat the Tampa Bay Buccaneers,
I don't want to talk
other
to you
teams,
anymore.
other
honestly.
teams can beat on
Right.
any
Any
given
given day.
Sunday.
Sure.
You can be beat.
Sure.
I want to.
Ray, you were going to say something, Ray.
No, I was going to
Yeah.
say that just the simple way Sirianni celebrating on the sidelines with this Eagles team. It's not like it's not like it was the Patriots, even though they really didn't rest their starters in their season. They went undefeated and lost in the Super Bowl. Who they lose the Super Bowl that year too? Anybody? It doesn't matter. But
Yeah.
Sirianni's a player's coach, and I guarantee you the questions have already been raised, especially with this being a 50th anniversary week. It's also the 50th anniversary of the Immaculate Reception, which was not actually a reception. It was an incomplete pass because it bounced off a defensive player, right, or offensive player. Sorry,
That's an
I want to
incomplete
say.
pass.
Your
I want to touch
comments
on
are
something that
offensive.
Harry just said too. I want to touch on something that you just said too, Harry.
Touch me,
Is
Mike.
that we just saw Pittsburgh. We just saw Pittsburgh beat Tampa Bay last week, which was a
You froze up, Mike.
He's so touched.
Mike.
crazy. So I never
It's-
thought
it's,
that
it's a
would happen.
touchy situation.
We were sitting both here last week. I was watching you. Sorry about that. You guys still there?
Yeah, I'm still here. I can hear
All
you.
right, but
now.
I want to say no. I've never seen anything like this year where it's any given Sunday really lives up to the hype, and it's 100% true. I've never seen anything like that before. It's absolutely insane.
Yes.
You have teams beating teams that have no business to be beating them. You guys still there?
Yeah,
we're-
he's like Max Headroom at this point, taking us back there. It's
He
good.
doesn't.
I love it.
Jesus
Max
Christ.
Headroom is.
Which, ironically enough, is the last time the Bears had a championship team was the mid '80s. Oh, I'm kidding.
Oh my god.
Oh, I pissed
though.
off a lot of people there, though. I pissed off a lot of
Yes, you
people.
did. You got
Sorry,
them going.
guys.
You're going to go into a rant and rave. Anyway,
Yeah.
let's move on.
Yeah.
Seattle. They're at the Chargers, and the Chargers are 5-point favorites. 5-point favorites in this game. The total's 50 points. Someone's got to explain that to me. I mean, really? Who's going to score the points for Seattle here? I'm sorry. Am I the only fool in the room that likes the under in this game and the Chargers to cover the 5? Seriously, Mike?
Listen, I'm not sleeping on Seattle.
No, hold on. Let me repeat
Wait,
it again.
Sleepless
Seattle.
in Seattle. That's
I
the
love it.
question.
I think you're sleepless in Chicago. It's 50 points, Mike.
I'm not sleeping on Seattle, man. I'm not sleeping on that team. That team's been a lot better than what I thought they were going to be. I thought that team was going to stink, and they stink, but they're a tough team to beat. They're not an easy team to knock
hurt
over.
dog in the corner is a dangerous dog. I get
Right,
it, but these are
exactly.
the Chargers.
These are the Chargers.
These are
Yeah,
the
and
Chargers.
they haven't been playing that great either, especially on the defensive side of the ball.
That's
they
true.
lose
Who do you like,
Bosa.
Mike?
I like the Chargers, but what's the line at 5?
5 and 50. Let me repeat it again, Mike. Ready? Here, look at my face when I say this, okay? 50 points, Mike.
50.
Yeah, you got to hit the under on that. You got to crush the under on that.
5-0, Mike.
You got to smash the under on that. I think it's going to be like a 30-10 game.
Yeah, I do too. I mean, give me a break.
30-10 Seattle. Yeah, woo! No, I'm just messing around.
Oh,
Smith.
Tampa Bay Ray. What do you like? Chargers -5.
I like what you said, Harry. I like the under. I pound the under on this all day long and enjoy a game where I see Eckel. What's his running back?
Pounding it down.
Austin Eckler.
Austin Eckler. He's gonna run the game there at home, get some home cooking. Herbert will do just enough to show he's fantastic and hit Williams, and they're not gonna have to run this score up. I don't think Seattle. I think that they're doing it with smoke and mirrors. I think Geno Smith is a solid backup. He's been the guy this year, but I still haven't seen enough to make me think he can go into Los Angeles against the Chargers and outright win this game. If he does today, then I'll agree that he is the man. He is the guy moving forward.
Tampa Bay Ray. Sorry, Peter Blake. It's the dementia kicking in.
I'm telling you, I need to put you in the corner again, old guy. I'm going to go with the Chargers here and the under. I agree with you on that, even though both defenses are very suspect, including Seattle, which gave up a whopping 35 points to Detroit's high-powered offense and Jared Goff. I get it. The story is Geno Smith, but at the end of the day, the story should be Justin Herbert, and the story should be this Chargers defense, like the Chargers today.
Wow. Yes, sir.
Have we talked about the Detroit game yet today?
Oh, yes, we did. We want to go back to it?
Who are they playing?
They're playing.
How about those Cowboys?
They're playing the Cowboys. You ready? The Cowboys
This is
are
my-
healthy
this
now.
is-
The Cowboys only have
this
one injury.
is-
Hold on before you say something.
I know.
11 injuries for Detroit. 11.
I know.
Go ahead,
I know.
Mike. Tell everybody how Detroit is going to win this game.
I'm not saying that they're going to win this game, but this is a game that I'm definitely going to be focusing on all day today.
Okay.
I love that offense of Detroit Lions.
Do you really?
I do.
Well, they're getting back DeAndre Swift today.
And
which will be
Jared Goff has been everything that they've needed him to be. And everybody wrote him off the ship real quick.
Still
Man,
not good enough.
I like it though, because Mike, man, let's just say that. Let's say Detroit goes in there, they play gritty defense, which phenomenally, by the way, is pretty good, except for when they're not. But their offense, they get that go score. Wouldn't it just be the catch me out if we saw all the Cowboys fans tomorrow morning talking about got to get Cooper Rush back in there, $40 million a year. Dak
Right.
Prescott's not the
Great.
guy.
Right.
That's the
Right.
one that we all
It'd be great to
love.
hear. It's
I
great for
like
sports
listen.
talk
I love
radio.
chaos. I love chaos. So when shit
Yes.
hits the fan, it's awesome.
Yes.
Like I'm really hoping Detroit wins today. I'm really hoping. What's the other game? The San Fran and KC game. That's going to be a good game. It's going to be a better game than what everybody thinks.
That's going to be a really good game. That's why Kansas City's only -1. But hey,
I'm taking them -6.5.
I'm going to
Nice.
give you my one pick for this game.
Yes.
Everybody on the panel here loves pounding the under. Get it? Pound the under? No. The Greek wants to give you lay the 5. Lay the 5 points. Push it in with both hands and both feet. Don't leave a chip in front of you. Pretend it's all in Texas Hold'em, baby, because
Beat
the
me
Chargers
from
blow
here.
this team out. That's
Beat
right.
me
Beat
from
me
here.
from here. One of those deals. The Pittsburgh Steelers are at the Miami Dolphins. Miami 7-point favorites. The total's 45 points. Who's playing quarterback? Anybody know? Want to go ahead and tell me?
Tua is playing in this game.
This is
supposedly.
ridiculous to let this man play football, but that's for another show.
Yeah.
That's just my
These
opinion.
men are gladiators, like James Woods would say
Yeah,
from
gladiator.
any given Sunday.
Here, let me
after he
remind
was
you.
fired.
Okay, let me remind you.
Yeah,
Strong
I
like
get it.
butter.
Come on,
I
guys.
get it.
Come on,
I get
guys.
it. But it is the trash organization known as the Miami Dolphins,
Come
who,
on.
by the way, is if anybody's surprised by it, why would you? They tried to tamper with Tom Brady. They tried to tamper with Sean Payton. They did some funny stuff with Brian Flores, which hasn't been proven. Again, it's
I
an
was just
allegation.
I'm glad you brought that up.
Yep, because that allegation in itself stopped the Tom Brady and Sean Payton train from happening.
Right.
I
Supposedly.
personally, I'm going to tell everybody to go to Texas. This is an El Paso game. If Trubisky plays in this game, look for it to be a little bit more competitive, but I don't know which way to turn. And honestly,
It's a Sunday night game, right?
Yep. No.
We're going to call this the Sunday night snore
Yes, it
fest
is.
because if you have insomnia, you'll be able to get some sleep. That's how bad this game is going to be.
See why it's going to be.
I don't think it's going to be that bad of a game. I actually like that.
It's going to be a defensive effort. Bet the under on it.
What's the over-under?
45 points.
Under.
I think it's going to be a lot of defensive effort from Pittsburgh because the offense can't still yet move the ball. I think Miami rolls tonight until Tua comes back looking like Tua.
That's why they're 7-point favorites, Mike. So do you like Miami minus the 7?
I do. I do like Miami minus the 7 in this game. I do. I think Tua comes out and shines out.
Yeah, I agree. I'm with Mike on this one. I love it. I don't know about that over. I don't think the Dolphins want Tua dropping back 35 times already trying to hit Waddle and Tyreek, but he does have Waddle and Tyreek. So
Good
the
point,
points,
Ray.
if they do get near that over, it's not because the
Very good
Steelers
point.
found an offense.
Yep. Good point,
Pete?
Ray.
I like
Miami's it's going to be an under game. It's going to be a lot closer than 7. I'm not taking that. Mike Tomlin gets everything he can get out of his players in this game. They play with pride. They showed that last week. I'm going to buy Mike Tomlin. I think it's going to be a lot closer. And plus,
Mike Tomlin
back. Right. I mean,
Mike Tomlin against the spread is also like 70% since he's been a head coach. So.
Right. And again, how effective is Tua going to be? And if he takes that first shot, what's it going to do to him? So I'm not necessarily buying that Miami's just going to go and walk away. I learned my lesson last week. So close game, under, but Miami.
Well,
I heard that they're filling Tua's helmet with bubble wrap this week.
Well, they may have to. I tell you right now, depending on
it's a shame what's happened to him.
Well, if he gets an open pocket, does he run? How fast does he slide?
There's no way you can send that man.
What, on a run?
There's no way you can send that man. There's no way.
Miami Dolphins.
I'm going to give everybody a pick in this game. Stay away from it. Personally, I would stay away from it. If you have to bet the game, don't bet the game. Bet the second half. Analyze, see what happens. Is Tua going to play or isn't he going to play in the second half? Did he take a shot? Didn't he take a shot? Are they going to run the ball more than 25 or 30 times? Or are they going to try to have an aerial assault? I don't know, but stay tuned. It looks to be a possible barn burner tonight and not so much of a snooze fest. But I myself am going to bet the second half. I'm going to go back to the Monday night game, guys. This is the last game here. We're running out of time a little bit. Chicago, they're getting 8 points at the New England Patriots, and the total's 40 points. Let me go ahead and point this out real quick. The Patriots don't have any players listed as out or doubtful. Okay. But they have a dozen listed as questionable. The Chicago Bears have a losing record this year and have reported. You ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 0 injuries. 0. Mike, who do you like and why?
I don't like this game at all. I think New England. I think New England wins. I don't know if it's.
Do they win? Do they cover the 8 points?
I'm going to say yeah. I'm going to say it's going to be 24 to 10.
24 to 10. So you like the under as well. Peter, who do you like?
Yeah, I agree with them. I think New England covers in this game. Chicago hasn't shown me anything offensively. Bill Belichick takes away your best weapon. Who is the best weapon for the Chicago
They don't have
Bears?
any.
Justin Fields. They take him away.
Ray Kennedy.
Yeah, I kind of hate this game. I'm gonna just say I'd like the under on it, and I like the Patriots to cover it. It's just
wow.
I say that though because, like I said, usually it's the opposite, and I really want the Bears to win and create havoc in the NFC North. But yeah, I think the Patriots. We saw him. Belichick's got a couple of his teams this year. He's still a wizard. He's still kind of a witch.
One of the biggest names on this list right now, guys, is Mac Jones. He's questionable. Is he going to play? Isn't he going to play? If he does play, how good is he going to play?
It's not going to matter. Bailey Zappa has definitely shown me something here.
Yeah, but Zappa, there's a lot of tape now.
He might be Frank Zappa.
There's 3 or 4 games on him right now. So let me tell you something. Teams are going to start game planning for him. And wouldn't this be a Belichick move to say, hey, you know what? Mac Jones is ready to play, but hang on, we're playing the Bears. Let's give Mac Jones another week off. This is another way for Belichick just to try to throw another team off.
Yep.
I'm going to make a prediction right now. I don't think Mac Jones is playing.
I don't think so either.
Okay, that's just my opinion. And even if he was, I'm going to tell you, this is going to be a barn burner. Chicago, this is going to be a get-it-right game for the Bears. And this is someone that's been critical more than anybody about this team. Don't get me wrong. They still suck. But they're going to put up 28 points in this game. Okay? They're going to put up 28 points in this game.
I don't know.
Bet the over, and I'm telling you right now, don't be surprised that you have an upset. I always give an upset once a week. Rarely do I take the Chicago Bears, but I'm going to give it to you today. The Bears on the money line. Don't even bother taking the points. And no, I'm not smoking pot today. Okay? Take them on the money line. This is just another ploy. This New England team is not as good as what people think that they are. And if they don't start Mac Jones, and I'm going to tell you right now, I really hope they do. Okay? Yeah. I really hope that they do.
Well, the momentum that this kid Zappa's got right now, I don't know why you would take him off the
Zappy.
Controls.
It's Frank Zappy. Whatever.
Zappy.
Is it Zappa or
Zappy? Zappy.
Okay.
Zappy.
My apologies, Zappy.
Listen, I want Mac Jones to play in this game because let me tell you something. This team is not very efficient at throwing the deep ball, and Chicago does a very good job playing zone. Okay, Mike, you even know that just as well as you do.
Yeah, no, listen, okay. Zone coverage has been their best coverage all year, to the exception of when they go into two-man under.
Yep, the two-man under has been a little bit of a problem, especially when they run. We're not going to get into all the technicalities, but this team can play a little bit of defense. They're not that great. Next year, they're going to be a lot better on defense. But let me tell you something. Nobody's expecting this game to be competitive. I'm telling you now, there's one game every week that I give as an upset. And by the way, I'm 100% this year on my upset picks. You can't find one.
Same. Let's hope
and
let's keep
this
it going.
Year, in this week, I'm taking the Chicago Bears on the money line. Going to have a position, obviously, for a lot more with the points, but I'm also going to have a position with them on the money line.
Okay. All right.
No comments from anybody?
No,
I like it.
I actually want to chime in. Last week, you guys were sitting there. I was getting heated with you guys talking about the Bears and talking about Fields. I was clamoring to come out with you guys and start screaming at you guys. But you guys aren't wrong in the sense that yes, he doesn't have the weapons around him. He doesn't have a good wide receiver. Darnell Mooney, who I thought was going to be something special, is not something
Harry's
special.
Playing this week, brother.
Whoopty flipping do.
The Patriots let him go for a reason.
That's okay. He's coming. He's opening up this year.
All right, but like the one thing that bothered me a little bit last week is that you guys were kind of dogging Fields a little bit, and I understand why because I've been on the same boat with you guys where it's okay. Justin Fields here, he needs to show me something, and last week was the perfect time for him to show us something against a terrible team in the Washington Commanders.
At no point in that game, Mike, were they supposed to lose that game.
No. But I will say this, and you have to take snippets, right? You have to take snippets from games and consecutive streaks, right, to see if your guy's doing well. Like look at what you got, like with say Joe Burrow, for example, in his rookie year. And I'm not comparing the two. I'm just saying, in Joe Burrow's rookie year, you let him air it out, you let him throw the ball behind a makeshift O-line, and it got him killed. You lost him for the season. It could have been a career-ending injury. It was bad. It was real bad.
Yeah.
All right. You let this kid out there and Jalen Hurts, who struggled last year or 2 years ago as a rookie, they didn't like him out there. They hated his guts. Now the kid's honestly on his pace to win an MVP of the NFC. All right. You had Josh Allen not look great his first 2 years in the league. Big time fix. Brian Dable gets there, fixes him up, does the right thing. Daniel Jones stinks for his first 4 years. Brian Dable gets there, fixes him up. You got to take snippets of what's going on with these quarterbacks. And over the last 6 quarters, Justin Fields has really, really impressed me. Now, my leash is real short with Justin Fields, real short. I'll be the first one to, nope, not doing it. Give him enough rope to do it to himself. But this guy right now over his last 6 quarters has been awesome. In the second half of the Vikings game, he went 13 of 15 for 174 yards, a touchdown, and a pick. In the last 2 quarters of that game, they arguably should have won that game if that guy doesn't have butter on his fucking hands and drops the ball.
Oh, there it is. It had to go. There it is.
All right, sorry.
That's it.
Sorry.
The 1 hour, 25 minute mark. All right.
And then now, And then now last week, overthrown ball, rookie mistake to the tight end early in the game, overthrown 5 feet over his head. All right. Again, Darnell Mooney dropping another touchdown pass for him. He goes 13 to 27 or something like that last week for 130 some odd yards, but still with a touchdown.
Mike, you compared them to other quarterbacks. I understand what you're doing. I'm going to cut you off. I just have to say one thing.
Well, I will say this.
They have. Hold on. Let me finish this.
Yes.
They have very similar comparable stats, and that's what the hope is about Justin Fields.
You got to take the snippet.
But hold on. I'm taking the snippets, okay? But I am going to say this, and please understand where I'm coming from when I say this. I don't care about the statistics. It's not passing the eye test. Those other 3 quarterbacks that you compared them to in their rookie seasons or even up to year 3, looked even better than what Justin's looking in like in year 2.
I don't know. Daniel Dimes hasn't looked that great.
No, the problem is the quarterbacks that you're comparing him
with
to,
the exception of Daniel Jones.
The organizations have done their best to do right by that quarterback. You talk about Josh Allen. His progression got better because you go out and trade for Stephon Diggs. Joe Burrow, his progression got better in his second year because you drafted Jamar Chase. Jalen Hurts, his progression has gotten better because you go out and get an A.J. Brown. That's the difference. The Bears have failed Justin Fields because they have not given him the weapons, that number one wide receiver that he can depend on. So you
need the weapons. But just as much as we all know here, as we're sitting on this panel here, Ray, Harry, Peter, myself, you could have the best. You could have the best wide receivers in the league. If you don't have an offensive line, you're not moving the ball or scoring points.
Sure.
All right, plain and simple. We saw it that second year with KC after they come off their Super Bowl win. That offensive line was not that great. He still had all the weapons that he could have had. Tyreek Hill, Travis Kelce. They went out and got Le'Veon Bell and a bunch of running backs, and they were loaded. All right. The thing is this: you still got to build up what you have in front of you. The only piece that they have currently right now is Justin Fields, Khalil Herbert, and David Montgomery. Everybody else on that offense, maybe besides Tevin Jenkins, goodbye. Get out of here. Cole Kmet is useless. I have never seen a biggest waste of human flesh in my entire life. That's what's wasted on Cole Kmet.
Well,
give that guy the Dahmer. Give him the Dahmer.
Well, again, to that point, they're not helping this kid out. And everybody's saying, well, the book's out on him. I'm ready to move on. It certainly seems like this Bears organization wants to move on because they haven't given him the necessary weapons. And to your point, Joe Burrow was sacked, 58 times last year, a total of 71, including the postseason, and still able in his second year to lead the Bengals to a Super Bowl. So, yes, it does come down to offensive line. But if you've got good enough playmakers and an offensive staff that has an idea of what your quarterback's strengths and weaknesses are, you could go a long way. And this Bears organization has failed Justin Fields at every turn.
Well, but there's an argument for every point that you're saying, though, Pete. There's an argument for every point that you're saying. Hold on. He's learning a brand new system underneath Matt Nagy, which was trash to begin with.
Correct.
All right. Matt Nagy did not want to play Justin Fields at all last year, period.
You could have fired Matt Nagy before you let him draft another quarterback.
But again, Bears tradition, you don't do that because the Bears are stupid and they're an incompetent franchise. They're terrible.
Right.
All right. You can't. And what are you going to do as Ryan Poles coming in? Be like, all right, sit down for your interview. What are you going to do, Ryan Poles? How do we fix this? Well, first things first, we have to clean house because you have nothing around you, period. We have to clean house and get as many picks as we possibly can. We need to shit the bed and get a high pick and possibly trade that high pick for another high pick, for 2 high picks. Why not get the 3rd, 4th, 5th overall pick and trade it down to 17 and the 24th? I would do that in a second. All right, you got to let it happen. It's technically right now, as we sit in this current status with Justin Fields year 2, yes, you wasted his first year, but you can't even give that guy a fair evaluation or a fair grade of what happened or transpired from last year. This is technically his rookie assessment because you're actually seeing what he can and cannot do. Now, we've seen over and over and over again, Justin Fields, yes. Does he have quirks about his game that need fixing? Harry and I agree 100%. He holds the ball way too long. He has that weird little hitch where he doesn't know if a guy is open. Let me tell you something. If a guy is open in the NFL, he's not open. You have to anticipate what's going on in the NFL. Because in 2 seconds, in 1 second flat, the second you release that ball, that guy's covered. Justin Fields is a learning process, guys. It's learning.
And that's why the fans got to be patient with it because honestly.
Well, yeah, but you can't just shit on the bed and be like, fuck this guy, he's out of here.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
You got to give him time.
And that's why I feel like the Bears are doing to him at this juncture. They're trying to be like the Arizona Cardinals where they're trying to give a quarterback 2 years and then basically draft another one. It makes no sense at this point.
But they had Wisenhunt for 2 years. They had Wisenhunt for 2 years when they drafted him already.
Right.
It would be like having Nagy again this year. So it's not the same. He's learning a brand new offensive playbook on top of the shitty playbook that he already learned from Matt Nagy.
It's actually worse.
Right.
I mean, and to me, again, they have not set him up to succeed.
And you got to get there. You don't have anything. Save as much money as you possibly can. Get rid of Allen Robinson because he's not a number 1 wide receiver.
Well, he hasn't been a wide receiver for the Rams besides last week. I mean,
that's what I'm saying.
All year long,
yes. Did they set him up to fail? Yes.
Right.
But I think it's kind of like, honestly, it's kind of like, let him fail. Let him suck this year. Let us go into next offseason with over $100 million of cap space. Buy him his offensive line. Draft him his wide receiver. Let's do something like that. Like that Booty kid out of LSU or Booty or whatever. That's the kid I want.
Yeah.
That's who I want as my next Bears wide receiver. 6'2", 198 pounds.
Or the kid out of Tennessee who looked like Randy Moss against Alabama. I mean,
that's what I'm saying. Did they set him up to fail? Yes, but was it a planned failure? I agree. I think so. Wow. Stink, you got to let it ride and suck. Just like the Cubs. If you're rebuilding, you rebuild. Get rid of the players that you have on this team that aren't doing it for you now. That's why you get rid of Khalil Mack. Because what good is Khalil Mack getting you 9 sacks, 10 sacks a year if he's not putting points on the board?
It's true. It's true.
Khalil Mack isn't scoring touchdowns.
Get that draft capital.
Mike, tell everybody where they can find you, buddy.
You can find me everywhere. I'm today on my couch getting hammered.
Sounds good. Fat Mike, 1252 Sports Proprietor. Hope you have yourself a great day. Thanks for coming on the show today, buddy.
Thanks for having me, guys. Sorry to bitch about the Bears. I still got time, guys. I got 30 more minutes. We can talk Bears for another 30 minutes if you want to.
Can't do that. We got to get ready.
What? No, just leave me on. I'll just continue to talk Bears. Bye, guys. I'll see you guys later. All right, Bears talk, boys. Here we go. No, I'm just messing with you. All right.
It's all about family.
It's all about family. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. See you, Mikey.
Oh, I thought the music was starting.
Oh,
I will say this.
Don't start the music.
Tampa Bay Ray, tell everybody where they can find you, buddy, because I'm going to go through my picks here in a second.
Good, brother. Please go to my Facebook page, Ray Kennedy, RayKennedy. For some reason, I dropped a dang good show. I got like 55 DMs from people all over Facebook that were saying they were enjoying the show, but I've got negative 10 views. Did you guys do something about that? Plus, Peter, what's going on with our StreamYard? Nobody comment. It's on my own Facebook page. People are commenting on it. Does that not come into the StreamYard because I'm streaming to my own Facebook page? Is that why it's not showing up in StreamYard? It's a question.
I don't know actually.
Why are you now you make me bring it back out again then. Okay. Secondly, my own personal, and I want to say this. I want to leave you guys with this 1252 Sports. Talking about Chicago building that team for 2023 with that $130 million they're going to have and giving Justin Fields a team. It's going to, what the hell are you laughing at? Oh, you're laughing because you did do something to my show earlier. You son of a bitch.
I never did nothing.
I didn't do anything.
It's going to be a lot easier for the Bears to do that now that we're starting to see the Packers dynasty implode, because now you're saying, hey, the Vikings are looking good who are on a bye week this week. The Lions are looking better, but come to Chicago, come to the McCaskies. Let's put a team back on the map. And the fuck? Take a laugh. I almost dropped the second F-bomb. All right, fellas, I'm out.
All right, thank you.
My boy, much. Ray. Have a great one, buddy. Thanks for coming on.
Thanks a lot, Ray.
Deuces.
That was fun. Let me go ahead and get to the comments really quick.
Let's do it.
Bears need to move to Gary, Indiana. No, thank you. Tony Williams says, Bears win. Troy Polamalu's, guys, we need to take a break, sponsored by Nick and Ivy. Kyle Nickel, not 100% sold on the Eagles. They have the easiest schedule in the books, and Dallas is the best team they have played. Sunday night is getting my games all mixed up anyway. Tua's playing against the Steelers. Kyle Nicole says, will Tua play Monday? Amazon streams haven't been the best quality in general. What about the Bears who wins? I already answered that. Troy says, Bears need to tank for the rest of the season so they can draft a new quarterback. I'm not thinking that's a bad idea. Fields needs to go find a job at McDonald's. Nah, that's a little harsh.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
I mean, come on. Burger
that's
King
ridiculous.
is better.
Yeah.
They pay better.
You shut
Troy
up.
Polamalu says, we got to give Cole Kmet his time. He's still learning the system.
Right. We're going to give him the time, but not Justin Fields, the quarterback. Yep. Idiotic.
Keep the show going, fellas. Ray said he can't stay until 1 a.m.
Jesus.
Christopher Cole says, yes, Ray.
Yeah.
Let me go ahead and recap these. Detroit at Dallas. Don't be afraid. Take the 7 points. Too many injuries for Detroit right now. They got 11. Dallas is only dealing with 1. Do they keep Dak on a short leash? Probably not. But I don't know. I think Dallas has got too much defense for them. Giants at Jacksonville. I think the Giants are going to get lost in Duval. Jacksonville wins this game by more than 3. New York doesn't have any receivers to throw to, not like they had any anyway because they weren't there, but now they're really in bad shape. Indianapolis at the Tennessee Titans. Stay away from the game. Atlanta at Cincinnati. I kind of like Atlanta a little bit. I actually think this is going to be a last drive type of scenario. But if you push me up against the wall, I'd like to take Atlanta. Cleveland at Baltimore. Baltimore -6. I do like them. Everybody say it with me. Jets. Jets. Lay the wood -2. Do like them. Houston at the Raiders. The Raiders should cover this game by -7. I am not playing it, though. That's what the panel all unanimously said. Kansas City's -1 at San Francisco. I'm probably going to play the second half, but if I had to lean one way, I kind of like Kansas City a little bit more. Seattle at the Chargers, one of my games of the year. Chargers by big. They will win this game big. They're -5. Don't be afraid. Pittsburgh at Miami. Stay away from it. Don't know what's going to happen. Shame on for Miami letting this kid play so soon. He was in the hospital just a week and a half ago. Chicago at New England. Chicago's catching 8 points. If you wait till tomorrow, you'll probably get 9.5. I understand why everybody's down on this team. I am down on this team. But I think it's going to be a letdown for the New England Patriots. I actually think Chicago not only covers, but they actually win this game. Peter Blake.
Yes, sir.
Tell everybody where they can find you, buddy.
Post-game edition of the Sports Web after the game live on I Love St. Pete, The Hub, Amped Up Sports, and, of course, like and subscribe to the Sports Web on YouTube. 3 things. Bring your passion. Bring your excitement. Just don't bring any nonsense. I'm your host, Peter Blake, giving you something to think about
or talk about.
Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for tuning in. Week 7 on the NFL's Over Under here on 1252 Sports, also on many other various platforms. Go ahead and make a couple of wagers. Let's make some shekels together. And as I always say, always keep your bets low and your returns high. I'm Harry the Greek. Thank you for tuning in.